Chicago seems to be turning red, redder and redder and redder every single day. And this woman right here has clearly a big part of this movement. Her voice has been heard throughout plenty of town meetings, plenty of city hall meetings, all throughout the internet. This woman, Danielle, is going crazy in Chicago. And of course, she is a black Republican. She's got a choice words to say right here to Fox News. They allowed her to be on their platform. And she's just going to talk about what's going on in the Democratic Party and what is going on with the migrant crisis. Let's tune into the video and see what's going on out here in these streets.
Those who are here committing crime harm to people of the city.
Let's start with cutting off illegals, getting free everything. Free housing, free schooling, free food. The police detail you had, the 200 police detail you had, let's start with that. Because you Democrats, and you remember you told us to defund the police? Remember, you ran on that. Remember, y'all know for real. And now, if you all vote on anything to raise all taxes or anything, because we already suffering homeowners, you all will not be in those seats.
Okay, first you heard from New York City Mayor Adams in a major shift. He says deport criminal illegal aliens now. And also that was Chicago resident Danielle Carter-Walters describing how dangerous the situation is now in Chicago. Danielle joins us now. Danielle, we appreciate you so much for joining us on the show. Merry Christmas to you. I know it's so hard for you guys in Chicago. Can you please tell the viewer about what exactly is happening on the streets in Chicago now when it comes to illegal aliens?
Well, we have about 70,000 illegal aliens here in Chicago. They're just having entire restaurants all on the corner of residential areas. We're having crime. We're having more shoplifting going on here. And we also having where the gangs are taking over. So it's really bad here in Chicago, especially when you dump 70,000 illegal aliens in our neighborhoods.
You know, Danielle, so on Monday, a mass shooting in Chicago, reportedly involving, migrants from Venezuela, 8 shot, 3 dead. And now,
yes.
Chicago, is this right that Chicago spent nearly $600 million in illegal aliens since 2022, but the Democrat mayor and the city council, they want to raise your property taxes to pay for it when you guys are getting nothing in return? We're showing the amount nationwide. It was $574 million, now we're hearing from Chicago, spent on this. Nationwide, $150 billion plus spent nationwide on illegal aliens. Is that is those the numbers you guys are hearing about too?
Yes. Yes, we are in a $1 billion deficit. We have spent, and I believe it's more, $600 million on illegals, funding them free housing, free medical, free schooling, free food, everything free, all while trying to tax the taxpayers. So we are in a $1 billion deficit. We want Brandon Johnson to allow Trump to come in and do his job. That's what we voted for, and that's what we want as American citizens and as Chicago citizens. I did not vote for this mayor, nor have I voted Democrat since 2016.
Now, Danielle is really, really in it when it comes to Chicago and what's going on in their streets. She knows a lot about what's going on because obviously she lives there. And I've covered Chicago and their migrant crisis and their gang violence and all this stuff. They are in a deficit right now. And Mayor Johnson ran his campaign to not lift any property taxes, not raise any property taxes for him as he was mayor. And then this migrant crisis happened. This whole migrant thing came. And because Chicago is a sanctuary city, and Brandon Johnson is saying, you know what, I don't have a problem with you migrants coming over here and living over here off of our taxpayer money. he thinks that it's a smart idea now to tax the residents to make up for the deficit that they're in on their property taxes. And every single person in Chicago is extremely pissed about that, because he made a promise to the people that he wouldn't raise taxes, and here we are a couple years later, he's trying to raise property taxes because they took on illegal migrants in their cities. They took on a massive amount of debt in their city, and now they're looking for some scapegoat out of this. I think that this is ridiculous. I think that the Democratic Party could do a lot better. I think they could do a lot better with their mayor. I think they need to come with better ideas instead of raising the property taxes and still handing out money at the end of the day, because that's the whole reason y'all are so badly in this deficit. But let's continue.
But since this is what we have to deal with, he's a dictator. He refused to listen to the citizens, and we're telling him right now, if you do not listen to us and let Tom Homan come in and get these illegals out of our neighborhood, that it's going to be a problem.
You know, Danielle, we got news coming in. Mexico troops just seized a record amount of fentanyl, an historic amount that was heading toward the border. Let's take a listen to New York City Mayor Eric Adams on what the money that's going toward illegal aliens, what it's not being spent on for taxpayers. Danielle, let's get your reaction to this. Watch.
Okay.
The long-term impact of that $6.4 billion has not materialized yet. We could have spent $400 million on community schools to handle chronic absentees. We could have spent $600 million on 2,000 guidance counselors and social workers in schools, $39 million on summer rise and extended hours for 30,000 children, $22 million on MetroCards for 75,000 summer youth employment participants. $200 million could have gone to 1,000 more police officers. $84 million could have gone to 730 park staffs. The police budget is less than what we spent. The entire NYPD is only $6.2 billion. Fire department only $2.6 billion. They hurt the future of New York City.
Come on, man. It's a little too late. It's really a little too late. And the unfortunate part about this is he was not singing this note a couple months ago when Kamala Harris was running for president. He was not singing this note a couple months ago when all these people were coming in, sleeping in tents. He was there begging Joe Biden for federal help. He was telling the people, yes, he doesn't have the space or they don't have the money, but at the same time, he was not really doing anything about it. He was taking all these people in. So it's a little too late. Honestly, it's a little too late. That's a lot of money that New Yorkers had missed out on. A lot of money. 6.4 billion, I think it said. That's a lot of money. Imagine what they could have done. They have a rat problem in New York. They have a homeless problem in New York. They have a crime problem in New York. They have a population problem in general in New York. There's just too much people. They have a very, very smelly, trash infested place in New York. But yet they got enough money to bring in random people from across the world to live in hotels for free and eat for free. Which world does that make sense in? All right, I can understand if you bring in a couple people and you're helping them out, but y'all bringing in a whole entire island and y'all expecting the people to help or the people to pay for it. I think that's absolutely ridiculous, man. But let's continue.
A word on that.
Well, first, I think he's too late. He's definitely too late. He should have did this when it first happened. Just like Brandon Johnson should have did this when it first happened.
And that's a fact,
we fought him because we wanted to get put on the ballot so we can vote on if we wanted Chicago to stay a sanctuary city. Brandon Johnson blocked that. So these Democratic mayors, they want Eric Adams now want to act like he want to do something, but he should have did something 2 years ago when they started coming.
That's an important point.
So basically, I blame him for what's going on, just like we blame Jay Pritzker and we blame Brandon Johnson, because these Democratic mayors and governors allowed this. And they knew that we didn't have the funding to fund this, but they didn't care because they knew it was going to be on the taxpayer back. So now that we're in this deficit and the New York mayor is going through what he's going through, now he wants to act like he's trying to do something. But the good thing is he's acting like he wants to do something.
I believe that, honestly, I believe that they're going to end up fixing this problem because they really do not have a choice at this point in time. Trump is in office now, or he's going to take office within a few weeks, and they're going to clean up the streets. They're going to clean up. I didn't even know that there was a shooting in Chicago with Venezuelan gangs. I did not even know that because Chicago is already so violent with their own gangs. I'm talking about the GDs, the O Blocks, all those notorious Chicago gangs. They're already terrorizing the streets. Now you go and bring in a foreign gang into this mix. It's nuts. Honestly, it's absolute nuts, and it's gonna be chaos. You're gonna see a lot of people dead. You're gonna see a lot of people hurting. You're gonna see a lot of people leaving the state, and believe me, they're already leaving it in droves. But you heard it here. You heard it here, man. Shout out to Danielle Carter Walters. She has been a huge voice in Chicago with the Chicago Red Movement or Chicago Republican Movement. If y'all didn't notice, when everybody was voting, the whole of Illinois was red except for Chicago. So I think that they need to read the room, and I think that they really need to get it together. There's so much people that are suffering because of this, and they don't even realize what they're putting these people through. And that's unfortunate. But let me know y'all thoughts about this down in the comments below. I'd really like to know y'all thoughts. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Tell me how y'all feel again in the comments down below, man. Until next time, it's your boy Dgotsauce. Peace.